PPP loan fraud is absolutely out of control. Now, I knew that this was popular. I knew it was popular trying to get a few extra bucks from a loan that you shouldn't have received extra money on, or try and submit an application that you shouldn't have submitted. But this is rampant. It's literally become a meme to get a fake PPP. Like, it's not even the question anymore of, is it possible to get a fake PPP? It's now a question of, what are you going to spend your fake PPP money on? It's literally a joke. The more I look into this, the more I'm like, oh my gosh, this is rampant. This is stressing me out, to be honest, because I don't think people realize how serious this is. You're defrauding the Treasury and the federal government if you get a fake PPP loan. So let's talk about how this scam works. I'm going to show you some literal advertisements that I found that people will do this scam, just so you can understand how exactly this works. I am not telling you should do this. I'm just explaining how it works. Then we're going to talk about best case scenario. You do this, best case scenario, it's not good. We're going to talk middle case scenario. This is terrible for you. And worst case scenario, you should not do this. So hopefully this dissuades a couple people from applying for this fraudulently, and it should entertain everyone else as to how ridiculous this all is. Like, you are going to get in trouble. It's not even a question. You're going to get in trouble. Just to highlight how popular this has gotten recently, take a look at this. This is Google Trends for various search terms: PPP loan scams, loan fraud, and PPP fraud. Yeah, we're at an all-time high by a large margin. Look at how popular this is in the last week or so. It is insane how popular this is. I'm almost like lost for words here. So this is how the scam works. I mean, it's fairly obvious how exactly it works, because in order to apply, all you need is some kind of documentation that shows you're a business, that shows your business made money, and shows your business was in business before February 15th, 2020. So you need things like a fake tax return, a fake articles of incorporation, or however you're going to structure your business, and a fake bank statement. And if you know anything about Photoshop or creating any kind of document, that's really not that hard to do. However, what's happening here is, someone will get a fake PPP loan with some fake documentation, and then they'll get funded, $20,000 or potentially more if they're getting multiple rounds or saying that they have employees. And then they reach out to other people and they're like, hey, I just got $20,000 deposited in my account. You want me to do this for you as well? I'll take my cut, $2,000. You'll get 18 grand. We'll both come out of this richer. And they're like, of course, yeah, I'll take $18,000, not knowing how this program works, because it's basically being advertised as free money. They're like, yeah, I'll take my $18,000. Well, the funding goes through, you get approved in some cases, and many people don't get approved because it's obvious fraud. You get approved, you send off your $2,000. The problem is, you now hold all the risk for the entire PPP loan. That person who just got $2,000, they don't hold any risk. You're probably paying them cash. Like, they really have no part in this. This is all on you, and you're the one who's going to get in trouble. This is bad news. This is not good. It's like, so I was looking into this. Obviously, I know a lot about the Paycheck Protection Program. I'm like, how are people even doing this? And it's just obvious fraud. It's not even good fraud. Like, you're going to get in trouble. So here's some of the things that I found online searching for this. The Treasury Department is probably going to come after me just for my search history in the last few hours, because it probably looks like I'm trying to scam over the whole system big time. But I swear, Treasury, I'm just trying to learn about this and tell people not to do it. So here's some pictures that I found. So here's the first one. Inbox me for PPP loans and the small business loans. Stop letting these people scam y'all and charge hundreds and thousands of dollars. So this person is saying, stop the scammers. I'll do this for cheaper. Let's avoid the scammers. And they're obviously the scammers, with some screenshots of, congrats, you have been funded from various agencies. Here's someone who suggests that if you're going to do some scamming, you should scam the PPP or other government agents. Like they're like, if you're going to scam these programs. We take risks every day for way less. And also, mind your business if you're not doing it. It's just like the casual nature of this is stressing me out. This person, do not inbox me if you're not serious about applying for a PPP loan. No, you cannot pay me later. $75 to submit your application. If you think it's a scam, that's your problem. Gosh. So that one's cheap, only $75. I've seen as high as 33% of whatever the loan is. Like, there's people who are like, give me $5,000 and I'll do this. Give me $7,000 and I'll do it. This guy's only $75, so I guess it's a screaming deal. If you think it's a scam, it's your problem. Jeez. Oh, here are 2 literal advertisements, posts I saw that will do fake PPP loans. Like these are literal advertisements. It's just $123, $200. And they're like, yep, we'll apply for you. No problem. You don't need a business, nothing. And here's the last one. PSA, I do not make fake Schedule Cs, 1040s, bank statements, or do PPP prison. They made the same joke as I did. Now that I've cleared the air and y'all have unsent me messages, have a marvelous, okay, I gotta appreciate the humor in that one at least, but this is not good. It's like I said, it's literally become a joke how rampant this is. So let's talk best case scenario here. Then we'll do middle scenario and worst case scenario. So best case scenario, all right, you get the PPP loan and you somehow manage to get it forgiven. I don't know how that would even be possible. Let's say that happens, because I guess maybe a very small percentage they'll somehow eke through. Okay, that's best case scenario. What happens next? Now the government thinks that you have a business that earns a ton of money, way more money than you've probably ever earned before. You just told the government that you make $100,000 a year, or maybe more, or maybe that you have employees, even worse. And here's the thing, government agencies talk to each other. We can all thank Palantir for that. And that just makes me want to go ahead and buy some more Palantir stock, because they're going to be working overtime with all these PPP scams. You are telling a government agency that you make way more money. This is going to affect your other government benefits if you receive other benefits. So if you do this, expect things like disability, Section 8 housing, in any kind of income assistance, food stamps. Basically expect that to go away, because now the government thinks that you make way more money. And you might even receive a tax bill. They may go, oh, you received $100,000, you got to pay taxes on that. You know what taxes on $100,000 is? About $25,000, which is more than a PPP loan. It is not worth it. Okay, that's best case scenario. That is best case. Now let's do middle scenario. All right, the government still knows that you made more money. Chances are all the government programs that you may be a part of, you can say goodbye to them in most cases. Now let's say the loan is not forgiven, because for most people, if it's fraudulent, it won't be forgiven. Now you have to pay it back. Okay, so you have a loan that you have to pay it back. It's 1% interest. It's really not a bad loan if you have to have a loan, but you have to pay it back. But chances are the money was blown on things that aren't earning you money, and now you just have more debt and more obligations every single day. And if you fail to pay it back, things get way worse. So now not only do you lose any form of government assistance because they think that you make more money, but now you're not going to ever get future government assistance because you just defaulted on a federal loan. Your credit score is wrecked. You're going to have absolutely no credit or a terrible credit score. And if you're on parole or probation, you're going to be sent to prison. That's middle case scenario. That's probably the case for most people in that situation. Now let's do worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, you get caught. Either you try to get funding, you don't even get funding. You try to apply for forgiveness, you don't get forgiveness, you get caught. And you get an example made of you. So here's what happens. You lose access to all programs, just like best case, middle case scenario. You get slapped with a big fine, probably more than what you received from the PPP program, which is just going to be more money that you owe. And you're probably going to get a few years in prison. That's worst case scenario for defrauding this program. It's just simply so not worth it. I mean, I've talked to people who are deep in this, in the Paycheck Protection Program, and the general consensus is that it is incredibly dumb to try and get a fake PPP loan. I cannot stress this enough. You are committing a felony, and while you commit it, you are giving government agencies all they need to convict you for that felony. You can think of this like you robbed a bank, and while you're robbing the bank, you left your ID on the counter and a signed confession with your fingerprint saying that it was you at the crime scene. You were literally applying for something under your name with false documents attached to your name. Like, this is the worst idea ever. It's just insane. I just cannot believe how rampant this is. I hope that this dissuades one or two people from applying for this. Even taking all ethical reasons aside, like you're taking money from legitimate businesses who are struggling, it is just a terrible idea. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.